All right, so this is a suggestion via a donation. The name of the video is Earth's Next Balance Patch. This is coming from Tierzoo. Let's go and check it out.
This episode is sponsored by Brilliant. There was a lot of debate as to whether or not the rumored balance patch 1.3.7 was actually coming. But as of the IPCC climate report, we now not only have confirmation that the update is real, but we now know the precise details concerning which playstyles are getting buffed and which ones are getting nerfed. So we're going to go through build by build and discuss how they've been buffed or nerfed by this update. Polar bears can no longer rely on their land-based movement abilities to get around. With ice sheets becoming more fragmented, putting points into swimming and diving will become a necessity in order to survive.
I can see that. I can see them eventually evolving into becoming more like sea-oriented.
Ice sheets were a protective barrier that prevented orcas from invading the breeding grounds of seals and narwhals. Because these ice sheets are melting, orcas will be able to wreak havoc on these seals. You now have a lot less defensive options.
No.
But if you're an orca main, be careful, because the passages into these waters open and close frequently, meaning it's possible to become trapped. Cephalopods like the octopus and squid are able to grow and respawn much more effectively in warmer water. The cephalopod player base has seen explosive growth lately, as their highly adaptive playstyle has allowed them to easily move into territory that they couldn't previously due to the water being too cold. In the past, I've counted their short lifespans against them because it limits how much time they have to learn advanced techniques with their high intelligence.
Oh yeah.
But in this...
Not all of them though, right? I mean, cephalopod, wait, is a squid a cephalopod? I don't know, because there are giant ones that live much longer.
Case, their short lifespan and quick respawn time is a huge benefit, accelerating how quickly they can adapt to changes in the environment. Sea turtles are affected in two ways. First, because they can only respawn on beaches, the rising water level means their spawn points are becoming smaller and much more crowded. Second, because they're reptiles, their gender is not dictated by RNG, but by temperature. The higher temperatures have led to a sharp spike in the number of players spawning in as females. While polar bears are being driven south, grizzly bears
Guys, that's a super unique system.
are being driven north. This has led to the creation of a new build, the growler bear, which is essentially an intermediate between the two.
Grizzly,
It's more powerful than the grizzly bear, but also not limited to the Arctic like polar bears are.
Yeah, guys, we don't need that. I'm sorry. I understand, things happen in the wilds, but I can tell you right now, I don't think we need any more of those wild, large land predators, guys.
House cats are mostly unaffected by climate change, although the warmer climate allows cats to respawn at any time, instead of only in the spring. On the other hand, fleas and ticks also multiply faster. So make sure you have at least one human player in your party, so that they can heal you from the diseases that these parasites can cause. Jellyfish are perfectly suited to living in a warmer, more acidic ocean. Like cephalopods, they've seen explosive growth, but to an even greater extreme. The box jellyfish and irukandji in particular are quickly becoming the most oppressive builds in the meta, in some cases even damaging battleships. It's been over 500 million years since the last time jellyfish were top tier, so I see this as a fair balance change. Increased overworld temperature has different effects in different places. In some areas it means more water, and in some places like the African savanna, it means a lot less. Ticks in Africa thrive in drought conditions, which...
Guys, I'm sorry. Regarding ticks very specifically, what are their purpose? I absolutely do not like ticks, guys. I don't like bugs, just to start there. I was attacked one time by a tick. I was in Granada, Spain. I was kind of in the middle of nowhere, guys. And, I was on a photo shoot. I had a whole production team out there. And it literally in the middle of nowhere. And out of nowhere, like a goat herder came through. I guess we were in his way. I guess he just didn't care that we were... that the government allowed us to be there with paperwork. He didn't care. He just was like, I'm going to bring my animals through here, right? And then miraculously, everyone basically ended up jumping on top of cars and things like that. I ended up getting inside the car, but I guess it wasn't fast enough, maybe. I have no idea. But either way, the goats just swarmed everything. Didn't care, scratched up the vehicles, was hitting them, all types of wildness. Then I get out of the vehicle. I go home later on, and I end up with a tick. So I don't know if a tick got on the ground and one got on to me, and it's just like, listen. So long story short, I don't like ticks, guys. All right, this is why I don't like ticks. I remember this experience because trying to take it off of me was wild. It wouldn't leave. It went deeper into my skin when we tried to take it out off of me. So yeah, guys. All right. Long story short, stay away from ticks.
Which is terrible news for mammal builds playing on that server.
What's the purpose of these animals?
In particular, lions, wildebeest, and antelope can expect to be playing with reduced max HP because they'll constantly be being drained by tick players. In the Midwest, tick populations are surging as well, which has been disastrous for moose and deer populations, as well as a certain YouTuber who got Lyme's disease. Not a ton to say here except that the increased temperature expands their range a bit, since the areas that were previously too cold are now habitable. This applies to sea snakes too.
Yeah, those too, bro. They can
One of the other new changes in this update is an increase in severe weather event frequency and severity. This to me seems like a change meant to directly nerf humans, because severe weather deals bonus damage to structures. Weather is one of the few things in the game that humans can't actually fight. And while
I never want to be in a tornado again, guys. That was like easily the scariest thing that I've probably ever been through. I'm pretty sure I have some type of trauma from that. I'm not going to just sit here and talk about trauma, right? But you get what I'm saying here, guys. I can't deal with those tornadoes, guys.
While they can simply flee just like any other build, their structures are helpless. In addition to this, the rising sea level will force many human players to have to find a new home server.
Inland.
Permafrost, the Arctic server's signature debuff that prevents trees from spawning there, has been removed in a lot of areas. This means arboreal builds are gaining a ton of traction much further north than before. The most important of which is the goshawk, which has phenomenal matchups against the small mammals of the Arctic. Similar to snakes,
these hawks fly with like so much like focus and precision. It's crazy.
Scorpions have the ability to enter more temperate zones now. In fact, let's just get this out of the way. This is true for most arthropod builds that play on the Central America servers. So fire ants and killer bees are moving north as well. For most players,
if you guys have never experienced fire ants, congratulations, guys. You guys have made it. You guys have made life.
The acidification of the ocean is problematic, but it doesn't actually deal any direct damage to them. However, for bivalves, as well as for just about any build that puts points into a shell, the acidic ocean directly corrodes their armor, damaging it and drastically lowering the player's defense level, which is pretty much the only thing they have going for them.
Right.
Most tigers live near the coast, which is the region most threatened by climate change, along with the Arctic. Tigers rely on coastal freshwater springs in order to survive, but the rising sea levels are causing some of these springs to mix with salt water.
Okay. Another bug that I don't... Guys, most of the bugs, I'm sorry. If I had it my way, I would probably ruin the world. I know it. I'm sorry. I hate bugs, bro. I can't stand any of these flying insects. I don't like them. I don't like getting bit by them. I just can't stand them. I know we need some of them, but do we really need mosquitoes? And also, can we take stingers away from bees? That'll be a good thing too. See what I'm saying here, guys? Just take the stingers away. What's the purpose of these things? What's the purpose? I don't know. Don't like them.
Increased rainfall in the northern servers has vastly increased the spawn rates for mosquitoes, which require standing water to respond. This is a problem for crow players because the West Nile debuff mosquito spread deals bonus damage to crows. One of this build's main advantages is its ability to move through deep snow without receiving a speed penalty, but with snowfall being reduced and winters being shorter, this advantage is becoming less useful, so Wolverine players may want to invest those points somewhere else. The increased rainfall and temperature has accelerated the spread of chytrid fungus, an infection that directly targets amphibians and is one of the deadliest plagues in the history of the game. Ultimately, this only accelerates the inevitable, but yeah, amphibian players, you had a good run. I'm surprised you kept trying to make amphibians work considering how much power creep has occurred since the Devonian. But it's time to start playing better characters. You'll always be remembered as the first vertebrates to unlock the terrestrial servers. That's all the
Wait, hold on. Is he saying that
changes that have been found so far? Honestly, I think this patch is going to be one of the most controversial updates in the history of the game. A lot of the parasitic builds got buffed, while many fan favorites got nerfed. I am excited for the buffs to jellyfish and cephalopods, though, since both of those classes are some of my personal favorites.
Okay.
One of the things I'm most surprised about is that while they did receive nerfs to their buildings, the human's intelligence stat didn't get nerfed. So if you're a human main, why not put your learning abilities to good use?
I see what he's doing here. All right, guys, listen. So here's the thing. I really am like thoroughly against insects because I mean that's just the thing. I don't know. Maybe it's just because of where I was raised, because I just didn't experience many bugs. I experienced many more bugs once I left like Long Island, New York, than like in Georgia. Bugs everywhere. Can't stand it. And a lot of like the places that I had to go to for like on location for like photo shoots and things like that have been absolutely infested with bugs, guys. Mainland China, bugs. Central African Republic, bugs. Congo, bugs. Oh God, guys. Just everywhere that I've been outside of where I was raised, right? It's just flooded with bugs. I don't understand it, guys. We need to figure out a way to at least make bugs no longer touch us, guys. That'll be amazing. All right, let's just get the bugs away from us. I hate them. And feet. And stop putting feet in your mouth. That's random, but it's another thing that absolutely gets under my skin when I see people talk about it. Ew. All right, listen, guys. You guys all have an absolutely amazing day and enjoy your day thoroughly.